Hi everyone, it's me, your well-established host Darius, and you're tuning into another episode of Your Perspective. Also, it's sad to say, but this is our last episode to kickstart our mid-season break, which means there'll be no new episodes releasing until Your Perspective comes back with all new episodes and guests in mid-fall. With that being said, tonight's guest is the wonderful, candid, and witty Lauren Tayara. Thank you for appearing on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, of course. And do you mind giving the audience a brief introduction about yourself?
Sure, yeah. So my name is Lauren Tayara, as you said. I grew up in Florence, South Carolina, and my undergraduate degree was in psychology. Moved up to Charlotte. My graduate degree was in public administration, so I work for Mecklenburg County government currently. I'm a senior management and budget analyst. I like to craft. I like to travel. I have two cats,
Okay, what's your names? Can you hear me? Oh,
Duchess and Rosie.
oh, that's
Yes, I
cute.
can.
That's real cute. And for
Yeah.
those who may not know, I met Lauren on a train ride in London a couple years back. No, I'm playing. I'm joking. I met Lauren through my husband,
Yeah.
and yes, and now Lauren and I have become like we're great friends. And
Uh-huh.
so tonight we're going to be discussing traditional versus non-traditional gender roles and maintaining healthy boundaries with friends and family. So let's get started with our first topic of the night, which is traditional versus non-traditional gender roles. The first question I have is, do you think gender stereotypes have changed over time?
I think that the gender stereotypes have pretty much stayed the same.
All right.
The types of people that exist and the types of relationships have changed.
I agree.
Yep.
So I feel like society has recognized that stereotypes of masculine and feminine activities and behaviors are like inaccurate and could also be like damaging to our children. But I do
Yep.
think we have like a long ways to go because when a child's hobbies or interests are like kind of different from like like what society thinks is normal, they might face like bullying and discrimination. So I feel
Mm-hmm.
like that's why like our parents play an important role in advocating for safe spaces when their children like feel normal and accepted.
Mm-hmm. Yep, exactly.
Right. My next question I have is, do you think a man who wants a traditional gender role could possibly be like deemed like form of misogyny?
Don't think that in and of itself
Mm,
is misogynistic. I
hmm.
think that putting the pressure of that role onto another person that doesn't necessarily want it, or forcing that type of role in a household where maybe that doesn't work.
Right.
Maybe you have to both have jobs. Maybe he has to stay at home with the kids
Hmm.
because his job is easier for him to be flexible in and out of work, or, it's just a part of a relationship figuring out what those roles can be,
Hmm.
not just forcing a type of role just because that's what you were taught or that's what society teaches.
So I like the answer, and like I agree 100% what you just said because I also feel like for a man to like you said like how could I put it, if someone forced misogyny on somebody, like how could I put it, if a woman wants to go out and make work in corporate, work in construction work, or like military, they should be able to and not feel like less than by their husband or like their partner. So I agree.
Yeah.
And my next question I have is let me see because I have so many, so like, I'm going through like the list.
Okay.
So let me see. Do you think in society it's socially acceptable for females to be masculine than for males to be soft?
Yeah, I think that it is more acceptable. I mean, if you think about, just the different types of relationships, you think about lesbian couples, it seems that more of society thinks, "Oh, that's just a phase. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
it's just something that those girls are going through, or it's even hot, or
Right.
it's something that's attractive." But whenever you hear about men in a relationship, or you think of the traditional roles that two men would have in a
Mm-hmm.
relationship, it seems to be um, more of a stigma around that.
I agree. And also, I want the viewers to know, like me asking that question, it's not anything I'm dealing with because internally, because I feel like anywhere I go, I'm who I am. I don't try to hide. Like
Mhm.
I can be sensitive, I can be manly. Like so, I don't want the viewers to think like I'm asking that because for my own thought process and my own experiences. Because it's not that.
Yeah, no.
And also, too, let's move on to the our last topic of the night is maintaining healthy boundaries with friends and family. And for those who may not know, a healthy boundary is any rules we set for ourselves within any relationship we encounter in life. And our first question I have is, do you have different boundaries with your family than your friends?
Yes. So I will say it took me years to even know what boundaries were.
Same.
I think that life right now, that people are learning what boundaries are much younger in life
Mm-hmm.
than we did growing up.
Right.
So, yes, it took me a really long time. I was actually in therapy, and my therapist said, well, you got to set that boundary. And I'm like, what does that mean? What's a
Mm-hmm.
boundary? And it just slowly started catching on in my brain. Like, I have anxiety because I didn't set a boundary with that
Mm-hmm.
family member, or because I didn't do this or that. It's almost as if I felt more of a pull to break boundaries with family because, you always hear those things, blood is blood, and
Mm-hmm.
oh, you don't love me. If you love me,
Do
you
it,
would do
yeah.
that for me, or you would come over and da 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 da. If, but it's at an expense of you and your sanity,
Mm-hmm.
your time, your energy, your ability to give back to yourself in the long run. So I just think that with my family, it was a lot harder to set those boundaries, but with my friends, it's almost as if I was friends with them because
Yeah.
they were able to pick up on those social cues and
Mm-hmm.
understand, like, I don't know if I should go out tonight. And then they would respect that and be like, okay, that's fine,
Mm-hmm.
stay home. Although I do have FOMO if I don't go out. But it just seems like your chosen family or your friends are
Mm-hmm.
the ones who understand that about you, and
Yeah.
understand the line before it gets to a point with your boundaries where you're like, oh, that makes me feel very uncomfortable and I don't want to do that.
All right.
So,
I
but your
agree.
families will test them. They'll push.
Yes. Yes.
They will push
Yes.
and push.
Because I know my family, like I have boundaries as well too. Like my boundaries, how can I put it? They're different for everybody else. Like in family, because I feel like family, they will use you and keep using you until like they use you enough. And I feel
Hmm.
like when you say no, it's also an issue, and then they get mad per se. And that's why like I do believe blood is blood, but like to me it doesn't really matter. Because I feel like how can I put it? For example, so let's say I have a cousin. So I live in Charlotte, and like I'm from Columbus, South Carolina.
Hmm.
So let's say she's moving and then like she wants to like she wants me to come down and help, but she knows I'm hours away, and she would like bait me and be like, well, I did this for you, I did that for you, but still like I'm an hour away, and like that's like a long drive for me, and like they will try to bait you and make you feel bad for like saying no, and it's not a good thing thing to do.
Yep. But that there's that saying, when you can't help somebody else put their mask on if you aren't able to put your own mask on first.
Mm-hmm.
Like the whole airplane saying,
Yes.
like you need to be able to do for yourself,
Self first.
especially, if you're a parent, or if you are, if you have obligations to
Mm-hmm.
somebody or something else. You have to be able to set those boundaries so that you're like, hey, I'm already obligated to this other thing. I
Yeah.
absolutely cannot do it. And if you're going to get upset about it, then, I mean,
Yeah, like that's on you.
sorry. So sorry for you. But yeah.
Right. So, my last question of the day or the night is: what are some ways a person could create healthy boundaries without, like, like feeling guilty for doing so?
So there are a lot of things. What you can do is, maybe put a little distance in between yourself to begin with. And I feel like, I mean, I know it's a big thing to move away from your family, but like moving away was probably the best thing I could have ever done.
Mm-hmm.
Just being able to have that distance and become more confident and accepting of myself and the way that I need things to be. And my family would often pick on me because I like things to be particular ways.
I'm
And
the same way. I'm
I
the same
want it
way.
to be like this. I need it to be clean. I need, like certain things
Yeah.
and not messy. And they would pick on me about those things. And I'm like, well, now that I have my own space, you respect that my house is organized in a certain way, or
Mm-hmm.
that, that like you got to put that distance in between you and
Yes.
your family members. I have also had friends and family members who have pushed boundaries with me, and it's very uncomfortable to set
Mm-hmm.
those boundaries and to be like, look, if you can't respect it, then I can't be around you anymore.
Exactly.
Sometimes it doesn't even take you having to say those words like, "Hey, I'm not going to hang out with you anymore." They will push the boundaries, and
Mm-hmm.
you just have to silently bounce on
Right.
them. Like, you do not need to be like, "You did this to me, and this is."
Mm-hmm.
You can just ghost, and it's
Yeah.
okay. Like, and that's fine. So
Yes.
I have just stood my ground. I have created that distance. I have, told family members certain things like, "Hey, if you can't respect my
Back
wishes."
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and also I'm such a proponent of the bumper sticker statement.
Hmm.
So you just have that statement in your back pocket at any time whenever that, you have to be around family and those boundaries are going to get put,
Yes.
you just have that statement, "Hey, that makes me feel very uncomfortable."
Hmm. Yeah,
Like,
that's
or "That's very interesting that you would say that in front of the whole family," or
right.
things like that. And so you just have that bumper sticker statement ready to go when
Hmm.
they when they start acting like they do.
I agree with everything you just said, and like I would add, like you said, just like learn how to separate your needs, your thoughts and feelings from others. Like if
Uh-huh.
we don't want to do like anything, like just say no confidently, like yes or no, and like what we must understand that no one can make us do anything we don't want to do. If someone is treating us in a way that we do not like I feel like we need to like teach people to like how you're gonna be treated. Cause it goes a long, long way, and like
Mhm.
our feelings come first, and like we have the right to set any boundaries in place for us to be like treated the way we deserve. Cause our mental state is more important than like like showing up for others. If we're not like at 100% to like show up or like we feel uncomfortable, we can say no and just like leave it at that. Don't
Yeah,
pry, don't question us, and just leave us alone.
exactly. Yep. Yeah.
So before we conclude tonight's episode, do you have any final thoughts you'd like to add or say?
I can't think of anything.
But that's totally fine, because that concludes tonight's
Been a long
episode.
day.
I bet me and you both, me and you both. But thank you so much for doing a show for me, Lauren. It means a lot.
Yeah, thank
And
you.
like,
Thank you for having me
and also too, like, so you're the mid-season break, so like, you're like the last guest, so until mid-fall. So,
on.
and
Okay.
then I want to say again for everybody who's watching, like I said, this is the mid-season break, so there'll be no new episodes releasing until mid-fall. And thank you for everyone who has supported me this far. It truly means a lot. And thank you so much. Here's your perspective.